You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Oh, it's a beautiful morning out here. It's a beautiful morning, and coffee even makes it better. Coffee makes it better. Yes, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Coffee makes it better. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Ah, nothing like a fresh brewed cup of coffee, minus the bitterness. Yeah, minus the bitterness. So, guys, I'm here to tell you to love your wives. Love your wives. You know, a lot of times when you get married, especially when you're younger, the first few years, everybody talks about, you make it past the first 4 or 5 years, it gets easier, right? Well, there's some truth to that, right? Yeah, because you get to know each other, you get familiar with each other's habits and little idiosyncrasies and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what it is. And so you just generally get to know each other, right? The longer you're together, the more you get to know each other, the more, hopefully, more comfortable you get with one another in terms of your habits. Some of them good, some of them not so good, right? Because we all have our habits and things that we do. And when you're single, there's some things that maybe you do that when you get married, you probably better not do as a guy, as a husband, right? So that's something to think about, something to think about, So, but love your wives. You see, when my wife and I first got married, a lot of the little things bothered me, little things, because you have your habits, you like to have things a certain way, right? We all do, right? And that varies from person to person. And then when those two people that get together and they have different habits, different routines, different things they like to do, whatever the case may be, there's some adjustments there, right? There's some adjustments. And I know when I was, when we were young in our marriage, I was so focused on a lot of that stuff that I totally forgot about. I totally forgot about just, loving my wife. I was so caught up and maybe sometimes annoyed, as she was with me, about those little things about us, those little quirks about us, that I lost focus about what really mattered, and that was just loving my wife. And it was tough too, because my wife was not from the U.S. originally, and so there was we struggled for the first, I don't know, many years with a little bit of a language barrier there. We worked through it. We got through it. We compromised. We helped and supported each other and all of that, and we got through it. And I'm so blessed because of that. But it was the little things which you can't sweat. Don't sweat the little things, because that's what a lot of, I know, I people do. I think I did it. I did it. I sweated the small stuff, and a lot of times those little small fires, if you don't put them out, they turn into big fires. That's the whole thing. So small fires turn into big fires if you don't put them out, right? It's common sense, but it's something to think about, right? Put out the small fires, otherwise they become big fires. And that's the same with all of life, right? You have a small problem. If you don't take care of it, if you don't put it out, that small problem turns into a big problem. Well, the same thing can happen with your marriage. Some little small thing like that can cause a lot of problems in a marriage. A lot of problems, right? It can blow up. It can exacerbate. It can mushroom into this huge problem where you get totally focused on the problem, not on loving your wife. And sometimes, and actually I shouldn't say sometimes, all the time, that's what we need to do, guys, is just love our wives. Period. And I will say that, love is an action. A lot of time it is a feeling. We feel love, right, for somebody. We have those feelings, right? Okay, we have all that. But we forget about the action side of it. We forget about the action side of it. Love is an action, right? We do things to show our love, right, for our husband or our wife, for our kids or whatever the case may be. Yes, we have the feelings of love and compassion and caring and all those sorts of things. But sometimes we get so caught up in that we forget about the action side of it. The action side of loving our wives. A lot of times I said to my wife, so I want to do this, I want to do that. You know, I was talking. I want to do this for her. I want to do that for her. But it didn't materialize. It didn't happen always, right? So sometimes your spouse can be let down that way. The bar is lowered, the expectations aren't there anymore. So love is very much an action as well. So this weekend, I'm taking my wife to Las Vegas. I'm taking her to Tiffany's, and she's getting a new wedding ring, and there's a reason for that, because she's been wearing a ring for a long, long time that actually um, causes a rash on her finger, her ring finger. It's a silver, I guess it's causing it. I don't know. I know people sometimes get rashes. So unfortunately, she found out about it. You know, I tried to keep it a secret. But the idea with this trip to taking her there to Vegas, we're just going to spend a weekend together, eat, go get her ring, and just kind of, just hang out there. Go to the buffets. Of course, you got to go to the buffets, right? You got to go to the buffets. You're going to stay there at the Venetian. We're going to go to Tiffany's. We're going to go to Din Tai Fung, a nice little Asian place in the area, hotel there. Have some good Chinese food. And so the whole idea of this is that I took action. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that I just didn't talk about it. I did it. For a long time, I would just talk about things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, to show my love for her. But a lot of times it's the little things, It's my wife sitting on the couch on a Saturday morning, and her coffee's running low, and maybe she needs a refill or warmer. So I'll ask her, hey, sweetie, can I get you some more coffee? Or do you want me to cook you some breakfast? Those are actions. And that's through those actions I show my love for my wife. And if you want the best example of love in action, all you got to do, all you have to do is think about what Christ did for us on the cross. That was the greatest love of all. That's the greatest love. Like there was a song about that back in the 80s. Well, the greatest love that trumps all love was what Christ did for us on the cross. He took action and went on the cross. That was the action. And anytime you think you're having it tough in your marriage, or you're just feeling down, depressed, whatever the case may be, you're not happy with things, you're dissatisfied, you don't think things are going well, you're going through a rough patch in your marriage, all you got to do is think about what Christ did for us on the cross. He took action and showed the greatest love of all. And I try to remember that every day. And I tell you what, if you're ever unsure about your marriage, about how to love your wife, that's all you got to do is think about what Christ did for us on the cross. That'll set you straight real quick. If you're not a believer, check into Jesus. You'll like what you see. So anyway, love your wife. Love your wife. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just love your wife. Do the little things. Get her fill up her, coffee cup. Make her some toast in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday or whenever. Make the bed in the morning. Do those little things, Fold up her towel, after she takes a shower, if she doesn't do it, whatever. It's the little things, because those little things really matter to your wife. You'd be surprised. Those are actions. Those are actions. Yes, love is a feeling, but love is an action. Just remember the example of Christ. Love is an action. Do, because, right, as they say, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. And it is, because a lot of people talk a good game, but they don't always deliver, right? So that's one thing I had to learn. I had to kind of learn it the hard way a little bit, you know. It's like starting this channel, right? I could have talked about it, and I did talk about it for a while, but then I took action. I took action. So don't just say it or think it in your mind, because we think a lot of things in our mind, right, guys? Do. Take the action. Take the action. Don't sit back on your laurels. Take action. And in so doing, love your wife. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I love you. God bless. We'll see you next time.